Hey, so I finally finished a lot of the illustrations. It's so hard to focus. I don't want to give, I'm not, I wanted to make sure I didn't draw illustrations that gave away my intent. Um, the illustrations that they go with the story, but they don't have to. I had to show the internal of humanity, kind of like, and so these are the last three drawings for story one. Um, think of it as kind of like an origin story. So I'm not showing them in order so much. Well, maybe you can tell. Oh my God. My kids are stuck in the house in the rain and getting on my nerves. But yeah, I know what my topic is. I know what I'm talking about. I know the story. But it's hard to tell it without like really showing people doing things. This is the actual cover. So this is the cover. This storybook, Vibrant Legacy, is actually intended to be a book, a compilation book of more than one story. So when I drew this, I intended to cover more than one story. Um, Now through the years, because I actually drew this in 2020 or 2021, and everything's copywritten already, actually. So I finally sat down and said, Kiki, you gotta do more. You gotta get it done. Don't just let the. Go to waste. These are the brain the brain cell ideas, the neuroscience behind what I was talking about. If you don't know, yes, I do. You gotta wait. If you don't know, I actually studied neuropsychology. Um, I'm not at the level of a neuropsychologist, but I studied the actual brain and how the brain is impacted and how the brain actually works. We actually generate volts from our brain of electricity. Hey, Darcy, thank you. Yeah, I love the way the colors came out. Um, so it's kind of weird. It's not kind of weird. It's really weird to just be like drawing things. Like even though our heart is a part of our body, if I stood here and I was talking to you about my heart, I'm not. It's not like I can take it out of my chest and show it to you while I'm talking about what's going on in my heart. But that's what I'm trying to draw. Is like, hey, I'm going to talk to you about the heart. And since I'm talking to you about the heart, I don't want to draw a person to talk to you about the heart. I would want to draw the heart. You know, if I'm talking to you about the iris of your eyes and how color, flecks of color, are shown in your eye, I can't just stand there and talk to you about that without showing you an eye. And I don't want to draw a person holding a statue of an eye, so I drew an eye. So it's like it's kind of weird to just have it in the drawing aspect. Now the good thing is I can focus on the coloring part. This page I have a hard time accepting because I feel like I should do more, but based on what I know I'm saying at this point in the story at the end, I don't want to draw more. I kind of can't. Because if I draw more, it will distract from the point. So that's a little bit of a struggle I'm having right now. It's almost like I'm illustrating an indirect story. I can't, draw him and say, oh, and his heart was pounding. If I do that, then you're not focusing on the heart. You get what I'm saying? So it's better that I say his heart was pounding and the picture, when I'm saying his heart is pounding, is here, this picture. Because I want to show the way that his heart pounding and, his eyes sweating or something are connected. You know what I mean? So it's a challenge to figure out how I'm going to, draw this. But I'm not gonna pick over it because I actually have a lot to do. Believe it or not, I have a lot that I started, and I won't say didn't finish. I just, yeah, I didn't finish. I didn't do it, but not because I was giving up. It's just because I was just so distracted. Do you ever use 3D materials like tissue paper for new stories, like the Caterpillar book? Oh no, I don't. No, I'm not. I'm not at that level yet. Right now, it's so much. Um, there's so many different stories. Like, I actually had to write like a checklist for myself. Okay, story one, two, three, four, five, six, and in those stories, I have to do illustrations for them. I'm gonna try to minimize it because my intention was not to illustrate every page, and that would be a lot of work, you know. Like, for example, this is a separate story. This one only has this picture so far. And, actually, I didn't, cover it with the permanent marker and everything like I wanted to do yet. So this cover is not done, but I'm just saying this is a whole separate story. This one, and everything's copywritten. I did all that. I did all that back in 2020, 2019. Um, Basically, these are kind of updates when I start doing this stuff because you can copyright and not publish. I copywrote the original basic story idea and wrote it out, and from there, I can expand and change and everything because I already copywrote the actual story. You know what I mean? And I can refer to that in my email. So when I expand and prep the actual version, um, I just go based off of what I wrote before. And I can add in some new, but anyway. Um, so this is a whole separate story, but I don't have any more pictures for this one. But I also don't want to focus on this one too much. I feel like maybe I'll do 2 pictures for this story. Um, Whereas something like the other one that I showed you that I was working on just now, um, this story has like seven pictures. But Alora would just have 2 extra ones. That's just because I know where the stories are going, you know. For the fact that I know where the stories are going, I kind of want to limit it. Um, so yeah, just going through that. And oh, Darcy, you want to meet my twins? Would you like to see my twins? Hi, Darcy. So for Valentine's Day, I saw these guys and they said something like uh something about each otter, or like better off two gotter together or something. I don't know. But they're actually attached and I could detach them like the way that they're sewn together, but I don't want to. I don't want to. I left them together. Um and my twins are just like this actually. I call them peanut butter and chocolate sometimes. They're Reese's Pieces. 2 different complexions, but they're twins. And ironically, my cousin that visited yesterday is actually my cousin who has her biological sister, not her twin, but her biological sister, same mom and dad, same genes, same DNA. They look drastically different from each other. And I feel bad because I never really thought about them as not looking the same. I always just, I guess, because I'm growing up with them as a cousin, and I'm like, why wouldn't I think that they're that they're sister and sister? Like, but other people, she was saying how her nephew, her nephew at school, there are kids who thought that her and her sister were like lesbian wives or something. And she was like, no, that's my sister. Like, that's my biological blood sister. Um, yeah, so we have all complexions in my family. It's funny, but then it could also be, I could see how that could be uncomfortable as a kid. And like a lot of times they used to leave me out and stuff. But I can kind of see why it was hard enough for those two to walk into the room in gymnastics and be blood direct biological sisters to people who don't know anything about the mixture of melanin. It was hard for them to accept. And then I come in and I'm a cousin and I actually look more like one of the sisters, so I can relate. But I have to go. Oh, you said yes, the real twins. Yeah, I have to go. Can you hear them in the other room? They're making sound effects, and I was trying to record this little video. I knew it was gonna be a short one, and all of a sudden I heard somebody crying. I'm like, "What'd you do?" She said, "I fell." "How did you fall?" The chair is there, and the chair fell, and then I fell." Like, what? So my materials. I'm sorry, materials. My materials are colored pencil and permanent markers. Um, yeah, color pencil and permanent markers. I've tried marker. I don't like the way that the marker is kind of runny. I don't like how permanent marker kind of comes it like the way that it strikes is different. I don't like it. The only thing that I would prefer over doing it by hand with colored pencil is digital because like this white space part, oh my god, like I used to nag over that at first. And then I realized that happens because of paper. And that happens because, I mean, you're using actual material, actual hands on material, using crayons. Oh, that's another thing. Crayons, I don't like the way that it came out. So between pencil, oh my God, Michael. Sorry, I don't know where the remote control is right now, and I'm just trying to get this done. Um, yeah, so between colored pencil, crayon, marker, I choose colored pencil. And outside of that, I would have just chose to use digital where I could just go boop, purple, boop, blue, boop, green, boop. You know, like if I just boop it and put it in there, boop, on the digital thing, then that's fine. But yeah, so I mean, I'm settling artistically, but it's kind of weird. I don't know if I would call it downloads or what, but it's like so many stories connect in my mind sometimes. And that's also what drove me to kind of like study spirituality a little bit more because I was like, for some reason, God wants me to tell these stories. Like, there's such a lack of fantasy and fairy tale for children, and there's so many retellings of Hans this and retellings of the Brothers Grimm and retellings of Mother Goose. You know what I mean? Like, what about something original, something different that still has the same quality kind of? Hey, Milasi, get some orange on there, Milasi. Hey, you know what? Do you like this one? You see all that orange? It's a lot of orange. Is orange for Scotland? Yeah. Oh, and Mama, here are the twins. No, these are not the twins. Obviously, these are symbolic of my twins. For Valentine's Day, it says something like "made." Oh, made for each otter. That's what it said. It came with like a Hershey's candy box attached, and it said "made for each otter." So that's why they were attached, and I just never took them apart. Um, and every now and then my girls take them, and I said, "Give me back my babies." um, oh, Kaza, you just coming on. Goodness sakes. It's so funny because, like, even though this is public, I would want to be like, "Hey, Kaza, here's my babies." No orange in Scotland. LOL, we in blue and white. They cute. What's the orange for then? You just want orange? You just want to boss me around? Or just orange in general. I need more color in it. Children are naturally curious, so if their parents haven't taught them all colors of the rainbow, those children will ask silly questions. Gossip when the teacher has lipstick on the teeth. Yeah, yeah. So here's some color here, a little bit of orange there. This one came out really good. It's crazy because I never really drew a heart or a brain before, but they came out good. I had to kind of concentrate on every little end of what I saw. Like I actually looked up a real MRI of a normal brain, and I looked up, a brain image of a brain, a normal brain. Same thing with the heart. It's based off of a real image. Um, so I was saying how it's so weird to draw, like to just be drawing hearts and brains, but it's because in the story, in the writing or the poem that I'm writing, I'm discussing how I feel or how the character feels. And it's better for me when I say, "Oh my god, my heart is beating so fast." I want to display how that feels rather than to just draw a person like his heart was beating fast. I want to focus more on the internal actual process that happens. These are the eyes, the irises, and I wanted to illustrate the spectrum of colors within the eye. Um, well done, my clever lassie. Yeah. I wasn't ready to see Kaza. See, yeah, see Kaza. I'll just be talking. um, and so this is the final picture. I'm so sorry for all the noises in the background. There's two TVs and my kids and me talking in the background. But I'm rushing. It's raining outside. We can't go anywhere, and my kids are driving me crazy. And I purposely had to tell them, "Don't talk while mommy's recording this." Um, and this one, I felt so awkward about this one because I was like I feel like I should draw more, but if I draw more, I distract from the point in the narrative. So I had to think about I have to draw for what I want to illustrate, not so much what I think people want to see. It's like if I wanted to show you that my heart was racing, how can I show you that my heart was beating too fast? You know? Well, I'm gonna write it. I have to actually write the rest of this story. But I did the illustrations to kind of get it done. Oh yeah, she gets that from me. Yeah. Um, so oh, this is a whole nother story. This is a whole nother story. So there's a lot going on. A lot I have to do. Um, my daughter's bugging me because she wants to color the mermaids. Where are they? I don't know. I have some mermaids in here. And she's like, "Mommy, I want to color the mermaids," and I'm like, "We're not doing the mermaids right now." So I did. Oh my God, what are you doing on writing show? So I did finally write a things to do list for myself. So I have like 5 stories in particular that I might include in this one compilation of stories. Actually, let me see, not 5. My intention was really these 4 or 5. And then the other 2, I didn't necessarily intend to be attached. Um, but I'm gonna go, guys, because my wee lasses are in the other room, scrounging around, scrambling and scraping, falling and screaming. I gotta go get them. All right, love you guys. Yeah, I just thought about making a list today. I was like, why don't I make a? Because I look at this and I know that this picture is more than one story. This picture represents more than one story to me, and I know that. I've been knowing that for years since I did it in like 2020. But it wasn't until yesterday. It wasn't until yesterday I was like, Kita, make a things to do list, Kiki. Make a things to do list. You gotta make a things to do list. You can't just go straight off of this. So there we go. One big check. And these are my Minnie Mouse slippers. And those are my daughter's Care Bear Squishmallows. All right, gotta go. Bye bye. Wait, how do I end this? Copy link, create post.